Baba. Today we are going to install the backlight on a Game Boy Color. So here's my setup for my Game Boy Color modding, installing a backlight. Toothpaste. So I ordered this backlight on eBay. So there's no trimming, no soldering. Thank God, no soldering. And it's an easy drop-in backlight. Very simple. Purchase on eBay from speed sources we can. You can also purchase on AliExpress. Might be $10 cheaper. But I was in a rush for my nephew's birthday. And yeah, it turned out pretty nice. And the price was 57 Canadian, 40 USD dollars. So not bad for this big kit that comes with a lot. So it came with the backlight and the shell, which is great. I will try and put the seller somewhere here on the top left. That is the seller where I purchased on eBay. Came from China. So this is the original Game Boy Color with the original back. The plan was to keep the original back and then add just the top, this top here, the screen better. Or is it the same size? Might be the same size. It does look a little bit smaller. I'm also adding this Pokemon glass. There was a plain one that said just Game Boy, but I didn't want it. It came with what was it? Did it come with this one? I think it came in this thing over there, but I ordered the Pokemon glass. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is turn our Game Boy Color. Too bad the freaking thing looks like that. I don't know if I should keep the original yellow or just do the whole thing orange. Because usually I keep the original backs, like I said. Just that label looks pretty shitty, right? Label looks shitty. I do have other Game Boy Colors here, but this is a pocket. These two. Oh, Sega Baby gave me a ring today, which is really nice. Said Grandpa bought it. See, this back looks so much nicer. This is like my last Game Boy Color that I have in my collection that I didn't, install a backlight. Already, this is my third backlight that I'm installing. And then I'll have to fix the pockets. That's my fear factor right there. So yeah, oh, it's so sad. I want to go to Japan and buy more of these. They're a lot of fun to do, to add backlights. I love it. Oh well. I mean, I'm just going to keep the original back, even if that label kind of looks like shit. It's easy to just change it if I need to change it to orange. Let's say my nephew just wanted orange. I could change it. I have it... no, that's not this one. I mean, I have the orange here. If you want me to change it to the orange, I can always do that. It's just not an original back compared to that one. So when I remove the screws, I'm not going to show you me removing screws. I'm just going to show the steps and explain in the video because I don't have anything to hold my camera up like this. But I'll explain how I did it. So I'm going to remove the screws. There's 6 screws we're going to remove. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 buttons. I removed the 2. These ones were quite dirty, so I'm gonna get some alcohol. The other 2 screws are on the inside. Almost forgot. So the screwdriver that I'm using is this is 360 by 50 screwdriver. It's not the tiniest, it's the next one up. Okay, so I did take it apart. And I do recommend that you have some alcohol, pure alcohol beside you, because the screws are really nasty. They're like hair or something. And I don't think it was from my house, was it? Was this girl? Probably. I don't think so. And I have Cheetah zooming around me because he knows we should be in bed. So he keeps watching me, my gray cat, and zooming around me. So right now we are going to take these 3 screws once you open it with a Phillips screwdriver. I think I'm using the baby one, so the tiny one, probably. Yeah, I think it's the tiny one. So the tiny one here, um, hard to focus my camera sometimes. It's 380 by 50. Yeah, you guys understand because you guys are all handy and know tool talk. Mouse! Mousy mouse! That looks like mouse. Mouse! I also gotta fix my Ninja Gaiden. He's falling apart. He lost the arm too. Okay, let's screw. My screwdrivers here, these guys came with my kit, and I love how like it sticks to the screwdriver. The first two didn't stick, I don't know why, but all the other ones have been sticking to the screwdriver, which is great. And yes, use the smaller one for the inside, and then the bigger screwdriver, we're using it for the outside, the 6 screws on the outside. I wish schools did this. I wish schools, had a class where all the kids in class got a Game Boy Color and they got to mod it. I think this would be such a great lesson. I wish they paid me to go into schools and be like, today we're all going to mod a Game Boy Color. Get out your Game Boys. or here's a Game Boy, and everyone did this. I think it would be so much fun. I'd be so happy to like teach this at every school. So now that we remove the screws, we're going to take out this little switch here on the left side and this little infrared little button here, which is for the light where you tap to make it darker. You just pull them out gently, okay? Be careful you don't break them. It's best to lift it up like this to remove the side one. And then you can lift up this side like this and pull out this top right one. And then we're going to pull out the ribbon, but I'm going to explain to you how. Okay, so now to remove the ribbon cable, let's try and go closer, okay? That's the ribbon cable here that goes to your screen. You're going to pull up these little tiny, black like switches on each side. I'm going to go like that. One is up, and then the other one. And then you're going to wiggle it out, the ribbon. Okay, so the ribbon, just slide it out really simple. If you need to wiggle it, and it slides out easily. Okay? So now we are going to clean the motherboard. It is best to have 99% alcohol. Please do not drink this. Don't put it beside heat. It's very poisonous and flammable, so be careful. Grab a Q-tip, which I have to go pick up. We're going to clean any of the contact area. So any of these like shiny areas we'll clean. Anything that's dirty, but the shiny areas, the speaker, the little wheel here, and the little area there. And, here it kind of looks like it has a little bit of corrosion. So I'll try and clean that a little bit. It's not bad. So clean whatever needs to be cleaned and the 99% alcohol actually evaporates super fast. So that's why it's best to get pure. Sometimes it's hard to find 99% alcohol, but get the closest you can. Okay, so I'm going to go clean that and I'll be right back. So now that your motherboard is all clean, I don't really know how to get that out over there. So hopefully that speaker still works. I hope. It looks like there's like a little plastic thing, but I don't know how to lift that. So we're just going to leave it like that. You're going to take out the screen right here. You're going to, first take the buttons off. Take the buttons, and then you're going to take the screen by wiggling it like you were taking ice out of a tray. Slowly wiggle it, lift up with a finger, and just peel it off. It's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that after I take these little butteroonies out. So there is the old screen. I actually did find it a little bit hard to take it off. The only advice I could give you is just wiggle it. Keep wiggling it like you were taking ice out of a tray. Wiggle it, the corners, keep wiggling. You'll hear like a crackling noise. Try to get all the corners without breaking this. And then to take this off, you're going to put your hand on a corner and you're going to pop it out slowly. Might have to put some pressure. So I'll be right back. I'm going to do that. Oh my, I actually didn't have to remove this. What a dork. Because like we're not using this cover. We're actually using this one. So here I am trying to take this apart. So anyways, I'm keeping this still. Not that I'm using it. I like to keep the original tops. So we don't have to take anything out. Holy, I'm glad I didn't take this off, guys. Okay, so I want to use it. We are going to work on the orange one now and keep the original back. So there it is. I just kept the original one, just like the other original one I have here. I just keep them. Those two here. Trying to think, which one did I change? I think I kept the green one all OG. Yeah, the one I made for my brother was all green and then purple buttons. So I kept his all original. Because I was trying to remember, like, I made 3. I guess I kept 1 original. And these ones, I just changed the tops. I keep the OG backs. Okay, so now we're going to work on the Pokemon top case for my nephew. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install our backlight. We're going to test it first by lifting up. That's the motherboard, and then this is the other piece. This is for the screen connecting thing. So you're going to lift up this little tiny little tab here on the top left. You're going to put the ribbon in, and then you're going to close it. Okay, I'm going to go do that. Okay, so we got that in. Next, we want to connect our PCB board. That's what the proper term is, to our Game Boy motherboard. We're going to flip it this way because it was the wrong way. And we're going to slip that ribbon to the top area there. So we're going to slip the ribbon in this slot, and then we're going to close both sides to hold the ribbon in. So it's going to look something like this. That's how it's going to look. Okay, so now we're going to test it. One sec, clean something here. Some like sticky thing there. So we're going to test it to see if it's working, that screen right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab the OG back, or if you're using a new back from a new kit, you'll have to take this little piece out. You have to wiggle it out and then put it in your new shell. This is the one I made. Like I said, I keep the OG back. Except this OG back looks kind of like crap, but whatever. My nephew wants it like this. He doesn't want the orange. He wants those 2. So I am going to, take the batteries out of this one. And we're going to install it in that. We're going to line this on top of here. And put the battery to see if it works. So let's do it. Okay, so just like that, it is all set up and ready to be tested. I got the screen there, all connected. I just placed this on and the batteries. So we're going to see if it turns on. I guess I got to go in there 1 sec. Okay, so it is kind of hard to see, but I had to use a screwdriver to turn that on. First time I turned it on, you can see Game Boy, but it didn't make any sound and it wasn't connecting well. It disappeared. So then I had to open these little tabs here because you got to try and put it really close in. Let me get closer. So you got to put it really close in. This ribbon, really close in. That's what you would try and fix by putting it in close and then clipping it down. Now it says Game Boy, and I do hear it. It's very light. I can make this brighter once we have it all installed. We could tap at the top right to make the screen really bright. Oh, there it is. It's bright. So I forgot to test the brightness. And you could test by tapping. Let's see if I can put this down gently. To test if it's bright enough, you just tap this little button area there. And it makes the screen, let me see, brighter and dimmer. That little area there. So yeah, it works. So now we're going to install it. Okay, so now we got to take everything apart because we are going to install these little stickers in the back of this little board here. And the screen, so we don't cause some shortage or explosion. We got to put that for safety, okay? So it says right here, you're going to attach this sticker to the LCD back of the screen to prevent any short, like a circuit, and it stops working. And you're going to attach this little sticker to the PCB board back here. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so the sticker has been applied to both of them. So let's go ahead on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to install this backlight, but this little foam piece came with the screen and the kit because we're going to place like a little L shape here. I'm going to cut out in a little area here to hold the screen in place. So I'm going to go ahead and I think I'm going to put the screen first and then cut these pieces off. So I'll be right back. So I think that's how I'm going to have mine. I'm not going to do an L shape. It's going to be good enough because I remember when I installed the other backlights, I had to cut my little foam stuff. Okay, so that's installed now. So now we are going to install the PVC board. And you could go ahead and do a testing, see if it's aligned straight by connecting everything again. You know, the ribbon over here, and then this to your Game Boy Color motherboard. I'm not going to do it because I know mine's straight. I do have a Game Boy Color that is not straight. I think it's the one I made. Just slightly, a little tiny, like you can't even notice it much. But this one will be pretty straight. So we're going to put this like this on top of that other ribbon from the screen. We're going to line it like that, flat on top. And then we're going to twist this and put it in the hole over there correctly and snap it down. Then we're going to connect this to the motherboard up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. Connect this to the ribbon. So there you go. I have folded the ribbon into the little slot area there, and then I have pushed it in with my left hand and clipped it down with my right hand, this little long piece right here. So now I'm going to go ahead and attach the motherboard. Now we are going to put the Game Boy Color motherboard, which we're going to install like this. It's going to look like this. So make sure to have this flat on your table. Once the ribbon is put into that little slot up here and you clip down both sides, there's a little clip there. It's this little clip. It's on both ends. So there you go. That's all aligned. We got all the ribbons aligned. And make sure that this is completely clipped down. You might have to use your scissor to push it down, the tip, or your screwdriver. Or if you have really strong nails, you just gotta make sure those are clipped down. You'll feel it go like clicking down without making a noise. So yeah, that's how it should look. And we are very close to finishing this project. But first we gotta add the buttons. So we're gonna go ahead and add the buttons before we flip this. We have to install those buttons under there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's do it. Oh, sweet. So my kit came with all these new buttons and new screws. So I don't have to go ahead and clean my old screws. I do keep all my old pieces, like the OG pieces. I do put them back in this baggie. I have everything that's original. I will keep the foam. The only thing I won't keep is that garbage on the side, but I will keep all of that. So it's probably better to put most of these pieces before you install the PCB board. But if not, you can still do it. Just lift that up like I said, like this, put your buttons under. Oh, fuck me. It's better to put the buttons in before put the screen. So I am installing the buttons right now. Make sure you put that correctly. I will have to clean my screen again before I put it in there. I don't know how. I think that's dirty from the outside. Yeah, but I usually clean it. So yeah, remember to put the buttons before you put the screen. Oh my, what a dork I am. So this part here is for the volume and for the color, screen. Don't forget to insert the rubber pads for the buttons after you put the buttons, those little blue pads and the black. It does come with gray buttons, but I do like the OG black ones that came with it. So I'm going to install the black ones and not put the gray ones that came with the kit. One thing I want to show you is this. So the OG one is cut different from the gray one that came with the kit. The OG black one is nicer. Unfortunately, because this is a shell that's not an OG shell, an original shell, I have to use the gray one. Unfortunately, I have to use the gray one. So, will I use the black for the side or gray? Might just end up going with the gray now since it's a different shell. I couldn't use the other one. That's why it was cut the same. So never throw anything out. Always keep your stuff because you can use it for different projects. Okay, so I guess I'm going back to the gray man. Okay, so that's how it should look. And make sure you have the button down for off. Also, make sure to check your buttons on the outside. I'm not going to flip it, but A is at the top, B is at the bottom. So check your buttons because you don't want to have it wrong. So let's go ahead and put the screen back after I clean it, install everything again, just as it is. Super easy. Let's do that now. Hopefully my screen's not crooked. My switch is off for now, and I did cut more foam pieces. I added a piece here and a piece there. And I tried to like push it up as much as I can with my swan scissors. And I thought I had installed this wrong, to be honest, but I didn't. What you have to do is you're going to have to flip this. So you have to go this way and then this way. So we're going to have to flip it. It's not this way like I told you guys. We're going to flip it up because we want that little sensor you see on the top over there, a little area right here. We want that to be connected to that little gray button. So we're going to flip it like a sandwich and then place it down like this. We want that to be connected to that there because that's your little sensor thing. So we're going to turn this in on an angle like this to connect to this little gray piece up here. So it'll look something like that. Okay. So you have your little ribbon there on the top. That's already folded. And we're going to just go like that. Okay, so it's easy. Let's do it. So it looks like this. You can use a flashlight. You have the speaker over there, and then you have the little ribbon I told you. It's folded right there. Right here. And don't forget to put your little button back to turn on. Okay, so let's go ahead and close it and then test it. Before I close it, I want to show you guys. This is aligned for sound. And then I got my little ribbon over there with the little sensors. And now we are going to put, I'm going to put the 3 screws. So 1, 2, and then the third one down there. So this will hold the motherboard and the screen and everything in place. And then we'll close it with the 6 screws. You're using the tiny screw and the tiny screwdriver. So start with the middle screw first. I have cleaned my station. I'm just going to install the back here, put the 6 screws, and then test it. My phone is taking forever to charge, so it's only at 2%. I'm going to go charge it and we'll turn it on quickly. Okay, so here's the final product. It looks really nice, but there's a problem. I'll have to figure it out after. So I have modded these 2. This one's for my nephew's birthday. Putting the screws is a pain in the ass. Sometimes, like, when you're trying to screw, it doesn't screw well. So, I have here Kid Dracula. Gray buttons. gray sensor thing on top to make it bright. But when I turn it on, here, let me turn it on. One sec. Kind of hard when I'm holding the camera. Okay, so it turns on, but there's no freaking sound. Let me press this up here. Okay, the sensor works, which is great. Sorry about the wobbly camera. Turned it on, there's no sound at all. When I did the test, there was sound, but then I didn't do another test. Some people do 2 or 3 tests throughout the installation. Now I'm kind of screwed. So I got to open it up tomorrow and figure it out. But I love this color. It's really nice. And this will actually really look really nice also too with this one if it was nice. I mean, it would look nice too with this, right? The blue buttons, but this looks really nice. My nephew picked a really nice one. Not the best label on the back, but he has an OG back. Looks sweet. He's gonna love it. I just gotta fix the damn... I don't know what happened. Can it possibly be the ribbon? So it is the next day, guys. I still haven't had time to work on it. The Game Boy Color looks really nice. And I turn it on. There's no sound still. No sound, unfortunately. I am going to have to open it after I'm done doing some stuff around the house. Looks really, really nice. Too bad there's no sound. I don't know. It must be that speaker's damaged. And I'll probably have to change the motherboard. That's what I'm assuming. So I'll have to open the blue one. That blue one, I'm going to probably make it into clear blue with the OG back blue. There's Kid Dracula. Can't believe no sound. At least it does work. But it's nicer with sound. And the buttons work really nice. Buttons press really nice. Hey, baby cat. Turn into a bat and go anywhere. This is Kid Dracula. Oh, I think you could just skip it. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not going to play this long. Just showing it to you. Wow. Wow. Almost got me there. And the colors are nice. Like I can see the green. The background is green like the wall. The screen's really nice. Yeah, there. I beat a level. So yeah. Oh no. Game Boy Colors are sweet. Too bad the prices suck, you know, like they're becoming so expensive just to get a broken one now. Unless you're in Japan. So yeah. To be continued, the video. See you guys next adventure. Peace out, lovers.